Mike's got 600K saved up, no mortgage, his house is good, kids off the payroll. So why did he call me last week in a total panic after trying to plan his income? Because like a lot of early retirees, he found out enough doesn't mean secure. If your plan looks pretty good on paper, but still feels a little shaky, this one's for you. Hey, I'm Patrick Imperato, fighter pilot turned income nerd, and the guy who lifts weights just so I can play with my toddler. Today, I'm walking you through Mike's steady climb profile. Someone who's done a lot right, but still has a few dangerous gaps hiding in plain sight. All right, let's look at the steady climb profile. We're here in the income health calculator, so let's take a look. First, let's look at the ladder overview. What is an income ladder? This is the 30,000 foot view of it. So on the left, we have your total bills or all of the different things you have to pay for every single month. On the right is how you pay for those things every single month. So left, bills, right, income streams. We start at the bottom, that is the most conservative or most reliable, and go to the top, which is least important or least reliable. So we'll start on the left. First, we see on the bills side, on the left, we have your housing. Keeping a roof over your head, the most important thing. Then we're gonna go to utilities, keeping electricity on, eating and other essentials in your life, healthcare and financial, and then finally leisure, transportation, gifting, future things. We're gonna match each of these to an actual income stream on the right. So the most reliable income stream that you can have is Social Security or a pension. So whatever your housing bill is, we're gonna match that up with the most reliable way to pay for it, which is Social Security or a pension. Next, we're gonna go up for utilities. We're gonna look at annuities and treasuries, bonds and CDs for groceries, dividend stocks and REITs for healthcare and financial, and then finally real estate and small business for leisure, transportation, and future. The whole idea is that the most important thing is connected and paid for by the most reliable thing. It's a different way to think about it so that we have greater confidence in what we have to pay and how we're gonna pay it. So let's dive in and meet Mike. Mike is 62 years old. He's from Boise, Idaho, recently retired engineer, loves fly fishing, trips to Italy with his wife, and spending time with the grandkids. He's retired with an IRA withdrawals, so he's doing a little bit of himself. He's got Social Security at 65, so 3 years out there. He holds dividend stocks around 50K or so, and he's got some rollover IRAs around 600. For this, we're just gonna take the 600 so we can round it and make it easier. He's unsure if his income will really last 25 years. So he's worried about that longevity, not selling off the things as he goes in retirement. So we'll show Mike the income ladder, how it works, and structured it through. His monthly bills were $3,800, and he's planning to retire in 3 years. So this is awesome. Mike's coming to us early. He's thinking ahead. He wants a system and a structure to be able to know how to pay for things when he does retire. His nest egg is sitting somewhere around 600K right now. But the problem is, what does he do with that 600K? Where does it go? And how does he allocate it or choose the type of income stream that he wants? So let's take a look. First, his bills. So Mike had $700 in housing, $250 in utilities, $900 in groceries and other essentials, $1,000 in healthcare, and $950 in leisure. What this means is he took all of his all of his expenses every single month and lumped them together. You can either do this in an Excel spreadsheet or we have programs that you can actually do it for you. But the idea is to get some level of awareness of how much stuff costs you every month. And then what we do is plan for that to happen in the future and for prices to change. So Mike preferred a 3% inflation rate, which means this month he's going to spend $3,800 to buy all the things and do all the stuff that he wants to do. Next year, in the same month, everything is going to cost 3% more. So we want to plan for that. So here we can go up to $3,915 to get the same stuff and to live the same quality of life. We got to plan for that change in cost or that inflation. And so that's how we want to play that out. 3 years out from retirement. So let's look at his overall income. He took that 600K and this is how he ended up dividing it through the income ladder course. First, Social Security at $2,000 a month. Next, he did CDs for $500, bond funds at $700, dividend stocks brings in $500 a month, and some REITs at $200. The way this works is they're divided into, again, rungs or reliability. So Social Security is very reliable because it comes from the US government. So we're going to put that on rung 1, or the very bottom part of the income ladder. CDs are still pretty good. We're going to put those as semi-stable, but put that on rung 2. And as we go up the ladder, things go and get allocated or connected to expenses and income streams that match in risk. So we have bond funds, semi-stable at 3, or rung 3. We have dividend stocks at rung 4, and then finally REITs at rung 5. What this does is matches up the risk of the thing you need to pay for with the reliability of the thing that's going to pay it for you. Let's look at his starting ladder. So if we sum everything up, if we take all of those numbers, his monthly bills are $3,800 and his current income is $39,000. Wonderful, right? Looks pretty good if we just sum everything up. He's also 3 years out. Let's break it down though based on that reliability. So if he's targeting $721 per month for his housing, he has $2,000 coming in from Social Security. Amazing. Extra $1,200 a month. It's wonderful. But let's start going up the ladder and see how things go. So he wants $258. Well, now we're starting to have a little bit difference because how he makes that $258 is not as stable as the Social Security check. So we're going to only plan for $300 as opposed to $500. This is where we start talking about the reliability of how you make the money, or the income stream that connects to the bill. Next, we're going to do groceries at $927. Again, we're starting to have a little bit of a shortfall here as we go up the rungs, which is okay because they're less important stuff, right? You don't need to take an airplane trip every single month or every single year. Maybe you save up a little bit. Maybe you skip year to year. It's up to you, but we want to make sure the most important things are covered, and we want to connect those most important things to the most reliable income stream to pay for them. As we go up healthcare, again, a lot less reliable here. So we're starting to see some coverage gaps and amount of money that we actually need to pay for those things. And then finally, leisure and transportation, we got $979, but we're only bringing in $140 at that risk level. So this gives us an overall income health score of 76, which is okay. It's in that yellow zone. We have some real solid coverage, 235% for rung 1 and rung 2. That means that there's a 235% chance that he will be able to pay his bills for his house and for the electricity and utilities, which is very solid. And it gives him a very good base to build upon to maybe add some riskier investments or riskier income streams that could produce bigger numbers, but also allocate those to things that aren't as important as a house or keeping the electricity on. His overall monthly shortfall is around $700. So let's look at what the completed ladder looks like. So overall, his bills are $3,915. He has predictable income, again, based on that risk, of $3,210. And that's where we see the $705 a month shortfall. But where does that shortfall come from? So let's break that down. You can see here for housing, we have that $721 and we're bringing in $2,000. That's an extra $1,200 a month. For rung 2, we have an extra $42 a month. And now we start getting into rung 3 with bonds and CDs and groceries. We have a $332 shortfall. Same here as we go up and up. So what this is telling him is that you have too much or have the opportunity to increase the risk level of what your income streams are producing for you. Meaning your Social Security is great. You don't want all of your investments in the bottom or the most conservative. How important an income stream is should be connected with how important the bill that it pays for. Right now, Mike has a lot of income coming at the bottom rungs, which means he may be a bit conservative and could take the opportunity to find better returns on different investments up the rung or up the income ladder. And so this is a great tool for Mike to better understand if he's too conservative compared to his income and compared to his bills, or if he's too aggressive and he needs to pull back a little bit. That's how the ladder is used. That's how the income health calculator can be used to better understand your specific situation and understand how Mike can use this as a tool to adjust how aggressive his investments and income streams are to match with those bills. Mike didn't need a total overhaul, but he tuned up his rungs big time. He built a bond ladder that funds the next 7 years of fixed expenses. He added some REITs and tips to the top layer of his income ladder for growth and inflation protection. And he also created a monthly paycheck structure so that he never has to guess where income is coming from. He even carved out a leisure ladder for his travel and fly fishing, so it's covered without guilt or trying to time the market and the stress. Mike's new score, his income coverage, 90% plus. Essentials were fully protected. His wants and long-term goals were systematized. He went from, I hope this lasts, to, I know what's covered and when. If you're like Mike, decent savings, no major debt, and still wondering, will this really last me 25 plus years? Then take 5 minutes to do what Mike did. Download the Income Health Calculator below. Book a free income ladder call with me or my team. And this system isn't just for the ultra wealthy. It's for anyone who wants their retirement income to be predictable, protected, and hands-off. Because almost fine isn't how you want to describe yourself in retirement.